does need to start stamping his authority in the game and have more of an influence in the game. You know, it was disappointing on Tuesday night. I keep saying it, but no, that in these sort of games, this is when you want the Mandreos and the Delikins and Arahan and Hamiltons to step up, you know, and really have good games and really show why, you know, they're highly thought of in this League One. And to put it bluntly, for the League Two players to go, well, that's what I've got to get to if I want to play in League One.
Well, understandably, not quite the gates of the league games. Remember, it's an extra payment to get in. It's not part of your season ticket, and finances are tight for people. With Christmas coming, understandable, not quite the gate that they get in the league for Lincoln City. Morecambe have possession, and they have it with Bordeaux, and he spreads it to Connolly, and now it's out towards Senior, and Lincoln just pressing the ball. They win it back with Mandroyu, and he plays it back to the feet of the captain, and O'Connor gives it to Jackson. I think it's almost perfect football weather, isn't it? There's no real wind, there's a bit of rain, and it's not too hot. Well, it's not hot at all. There's Smith, who's very much in midfield, plays it into feet, and it goes backwards for Lincoln City at the moment, to the feet of Jackson. And now it's with Arahan, and Lincoln coming forward through midfield. I should say it's in fact Burrows who's almost playing as a two. It's almost like Lincoln are playing a, perhaps it's, I'm going to jump to something here, and you probably know where I'm going, but maybe when they're defending he goes as a four, but it's a bit like what Liverpool have done with, I'm not comparing them as players, Mark, but what they do with Alexander-Arnold. He drops into midfield when they go forward. Yeah, he's literally just popped into midfield there, Burrows, to go and receive the ball, so maybe that's a little tweak that Tom Shaw wants to do, that he feels that Hamilton and Arahan, personally, if I was looking at Lincoln, I would sit two people on the two Ethans and really stop us playing. So maybe that's something that Tom Shaw thinks is going to happen from now on in. And if the two Ethans can split or push their midfield away, Jack Burrows can just come in and we can play in that area with Jack Burrows, because they're not expecting that. So interesting. I'll keep an eye on that. Yeah, it is certainly interesting. It's sort of a, when Lincoln have the ball, it's like a 3, a 2, and then a 4 almost behind a Delican. Certainly one to watch. But I think that there is, and we see it a lot in modern football now, there are two very much formations when you have the ball and when you don't have the ball. And I'm sure it's different in different parts of the pitch, but certainly Burrows has really dropped in a 2. And like I said, it's the thing that comes to mind is what they do with Alexander-Arnold at Liverpool. It's admittedly on the other side, but they do that, don't they? Yeah, Smith is just basically Fulham. It's Morecambe coming forward and put out a play by Aoma. Yeah, so now it's a 4, isn't it? When you look at it, Smith's when they're defending. Smith's basically pushed right up towards a Delican, and then what happens is Ethan Hamilton and Ethan Arahan are just going to go higher up the pitch, and that just allows that space to Burrows to just pop into that hole as a defensive midfield player if he needs to. Interesting, really interesting. Yep. Well, hope it works. That's a nice piece of play by Mandroy. Tries to run around the player, slips over, and Fulham, and I keep saying Fulham, Morecambe have won it back. I wish they didn't have such a Fulham kit. Morecambe have won it back. You've got that in your head now, haven't you? Yes, I know. Anyway, Mandroyu, he holds on to it for too long. Morecambe have it back in possession over the halfway line, looking to press Lincoln City. The ball goes out of play, and it's going to be a throw for the Imps. Paulie O'Connor thinks about taking it. It's going to be Burrows. Yeah, so what Tom Shaw's done here is he's tried to push Alistair Smith higher up the pitch to get closer to a Delican, because that's what I said on Tuesday night. You know, Vale came really, really isolated in them areas. Alistair Smith just loses possession there. But then it allows the two Ethans then just to push high up against the midfield two of Morecambe, and that allows that space in between our defensive lines, if you like, for Jack Burrows just to pop in there. It's fascinating. It's something that obviously Tom Shaw has seen and wants us to try and get out from the back, and he's going to use Jack Burrows as the holding midfield player at times. Interesting to know how much work has been done on it, whether it's been a long-term thing or a relatively recent. Morecambe in possession inside their own half, attacking the Stacey West end of the ground, playing it all the way back to the keeper Smith. Lincoln pressing right on the edge of the Morecambe penalty area, and the Delican the man doing that, and Vale's an option from the bench for Lincoln later on. Also an option for Lincoln when they get a chance is that bomb of a throw from Adelican. City have it with Burrows. Back towards O'Connor. And he passes it to his right to Jackson. And now it's with Aoma. And out into the feet of Smith on the halfway line. Back to Aoma, has to chase across to keep it in play. He's under a bit of pressure. Plays it all the way back to Lucas Jensen, who clears long straight out of play.
Yeah, just as that was building up there, Jack Burrows just literally went and played central midfield. As TJ played it back to Jensen, Burrows was actually alongside Arahan. So that's definitely something that Tom Shaw tactically wants to try and get, is to get another player in that midfield area. Yes, it's interesting, really interesting.
Morecambe play it to Connolly. Then into a little ball down the channel, down the right-hand side. Morecambe player trips over, and City have it back with Burrows. Mandroya makes himself some space, does well, and plays a lovely ball through the middle for Sorensen. He's into the penalty area. Sorensen will shoot, and it's a good piece of defending that goes out for a corner, but that's high quality from Danny Mandroya.
Yeah, great play from Danny Mandroya. Just let the ball run across him, opened his body up. A great ball in behind Lass Sorensen. And Lass does really well, actually. His first start, he's just had to slow him down a little bit, but I have to say, what's great defending from Adam Mayer for Morecambe, who's got back at Lass Sorensen and got the block on. Good bit of play all round that was from both teams.
0-0, BBC Radio Lincolnshire on BBC Sounds as well this afternoon. And it's a corner for the Imps. From the attacking right, air raid siren cranks into life, ball into the penalty area, and that's not a good one to go straight out of play, and it'll be a goal kick for the visitors.
If I was a centre half, having run 60 yards, and my corner taker does that, I will be having words.
And trust me, you don't want Mark having words for you. So at the moment, when they don't have the ball and they're defending, it's kind of a 4-4-2. Yep. So Sorensen on the right, Mandroya on the left, the two Alistairs in the middle, and Smith is pushed forward, not quite alongside Adelican, but sort of, as they're defending this. And then we'll get that change when we see Lincoln in possession. Just perhaps pick up with you, Mark, as Morecambe chased through. It looked offside, was going to go out of play. Just be interested to know what you think as well. We talked a lot about Burrows and where he sort of tucks into that 2 in front of a 3 in midfield, but also what Sorensen does. What does he do? Yeah, Sorensen's going to push on, Mandroya's going to push on. So what happens is now you've got Paulie that's going to play left, almost like a left back. TJ goes to the right back. They're just going to split. So it's almost like what Oxford did to us. So you've got Ethan just dropping in there. They can probably play it into the front player if we can do that. But it's almost like how Oxford set up with the 2 and the 2. So you get two holding central midfield players and 2 central midfield players pushed on. Paulie O'Connor heads it away. Cleared downfield, and Adelican gets a touch, tries to play it wide to the left-hand side. Mandroya chases after it, he's not going to win it. Morecambe get it forward. And it's Burrows who plays it all the way back to Jensen in the Lincoln City goal. So now it reverts back to a 3, and now you've got Ethan and Jack Burrows as the 2 holding, and then Alistair Smith and Ethan Hamilton push right on. It's kind of a 3-2-2-3. Yeah, it's literally how Oxford played. Long ball downfield, and Sorensen, oh, he was just being held up a little bit in his run there by Mayer, and it's gone out for a goal kick. It's a little bit of a game of chess at the moment here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. But 0-0 the score. I can tell you, Connor Thompson from the penalty spot for Ashington against Grantham. Grantham getting sucked towards the relegation places. 0-0 in the Boston game, 0-0 here at Lincoln City at home against Morecambe in the FA Cup. Clearance long downfield, just about kept in, is it? Allowed to play to continue. Mandroya tries to get hold of it, and Hamilton, and then Irahan is the player that does get hold of it. Deep pass from Burrows into Mandroya. Mandroya with 4 players around him, holds on to it, gives it to Irahan just inside the City half, then into the feet of Jackson, and Jackson to O'Connor, and O'Connor plays it through the middle, but he tried the eye of a needle pass, and it was picked off by Morecambe, and they're pushing forward down the right hand side. Blocks them, the number 7, big player, plays it into the area, but it's cut out by Burrows. It's with Morecambe on the right, and they try to cross it into the area, but it's once again cut out by Burrows and goes out for a throw. Yeah, blocks him, the number 7
for Morecambe is a little bit unsure what to do with Burrows, whether to follow him in, because then Pordy comes into the left-back spot when we've got possession. So Bloxham keeps looking around as if to say, I'm not sure where I'm supposed to be going here, because my left-back's now gone and play central mid.
The days of, I can't put the expletive in there, I think most of you know where it goes, at the 4-4-2 tradition are long gone. Lovely turn from Iran, he's made himself acres of space, he's charging through midfield, just slightly misdirected his pass. It was a terrific run from the Scot, from virtually the edge of his penalty box to the edge of the centre circle inside the Morecambe half, but he just couldn't time his pass to Sorensen. It breaks down, but it was a nice idea, and a lot of space suddenly opened up for him. He decided, well, if you're going to give me space, I'm going to keep on running. Morecambe now halfway inside the City half. Bloxham, it's chipped down the channel for him to chase after. Good challenge from Burrows at the cost of a corner. Yeah,
well tracked from Burrows there. Bloxham just tried a little 1-2. That was a good return ball behind Burrows, and Burrows just matched Bloxham run and got a good block in. The Morecambe manager's just talking to the number 8, El King, who's one of the holding midfield players, probably just to say about what Burrows is doing and how Lincoln are setting up when we're in possession.
So corner for Morecambe. Stace west end of the ground, attacking right. It's played short into midfield, and the ball's played long, and it's shot well over the top, and it's going to remain goalless here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Elsewhere in the Premier League, result from earlier on, Manchester United 1-0 winners away at Fulham. Fernandes with the goal there. Everton, thanks to Mikalenko, leading at home against Brighton. No goals in our other feature games apart from Grantham being a 0-0 down at home against Ashington. Irahan, and then Aoma chips it downfield. He's not going to find Aoma with that ball, and the ball stabbed back to the Lincoln half. Now the FA Cup games are a little bit all over the place. There's different sorts of kickoffs, and I'm just spinning through. Barrow 3-1 up at Northampton, so that is League 2 against League 1. That's going their way. Doncaster, it's an all League 2 game this one. Doncaster 1, Accrington 0, 9 minutes played there. Orient leading Carlisle, that's all League 1 at 1-0 there. Crawley leading at Notts County, that's all League 2. And Salford 1-0 up at Peterborough. That is League 2 ahead against League 1, so that would be an upset. And Reading leading the MK Dons by 1-0. That's League 1 against League 2. Stevenage leading Tranmere by 1-0. That's League 1 against League 2. But what about this scoreline then, Mark? We talk about upsets. Swindon, after 9 minutes, you ready for this?
Go on.
Swindon 0,
yeah.
Aldershot 3 at Swindon. Head's gone.
Yep.
Yeovil also leading against Gateshead. That's an all long league match. First, fourth and 9th minute for the goals.
Wow. You haven't missed anything here, really.
No, I was well aware of it.
Yeah, it's a bit scrappy.
City have it, though. And that's nearly a nice ball from Adelic. It's a good run from Smith. Couldn't quite find him. Just cut out by the Morecambe defence. And they look to get it to the halfway line. City pressing the ball, but Fulham, Morecambe getting it down the left-hand side. Lincoln cutting it out, and Smith trying to get hold of it. It's a good sliding challenge from Smith. Adelican to Hamilton. Hamilton charging forward. Lincoln are having the advantage here from the referee. Hamilton turns, plays it into the feet of Adelican. His ball's just wide, picked up by Mandroya. Mandroya, ball into the box. Lincoln can score! And they do! That's a really, really good move from Lincoln City. And they're 1-0 up here at the end of the hour.
Yeah, that's brilliant play from us. Lassoris had just given a finger to one of the defenders. I think he was being held back, as was Adelican in that build-up. But that's fantastic play from Lincoln. Adelican, I thought he'd overhit the pass back to Danny Mandroya, but Mandroya just cuts back inside and hits an absolutely delicious cross. And Lassoris sliding in at the far post, crashes it in off the crossbar. Great goal from Lincoln. And I think Lass made a point to the defender. I couldn't quite see who it was that was holding him back in the build-up to that, as if to say, yeah, that didn't stop me scoring, mate, did it?
No, excellent piece of play from Danny Mandroya, and that's what you want to see from him, isn't it? That sort of quality. We already had that ball played through for Sorensen earlier on, sort of more deeper ball from the halfway line, but it was a lovely little turn on the edge of the box, a right-footed chip right across the penalty area, and City 1-0 up here. Not quite sure what Smith was intending there. He's kind of If he was playing for Morecambe, he's done well.
Yeah, I was just about to say that Alistair Smith did brilliant in the build-up to that. Made a couple of really good challenges, and then sliding challenge to give it to Adelican, and then the next phase of play we're in behind them, and you know we did really well to set that goal up from last. But that's a great ball from Danny Mandroyo.
City have won the ball back. Remember, there's £41,000. I know what Mark's going to say. It's all about the glory. I can assure him that directors are also thinking, well, the money's quite helpful as well.
Yeah, the people in the stand can worry about the money. The players have just got to get on with what they need to do and win a game of football.
Well, Lincoln City out of possession, very much a 4-4-2 with Mandroyo pressing and also Burrows. And they're working hard to try and get it back off Morecambe. Ball played into the City half, headed away by Aomer. He must be delighted to be back in a starting team. I imagine it'll start Tuesday night in the trophy game. But at the moment, it's all about the FA Cup, and with 15 minutes played, it remains 1-0 to Lincoln City. Excellent ball from Mandroyo and slid home by Sorensen, who's having a very good season once again.
Yeah, Burrows has just drifted all the way across. He's almost playing as a right-sided midfield player there. So, and it's the El King who Morecambe's manager.
Iran has come across to the left, hasn't he?
Yeah, they're just rotating in that midfield area, and like I say, maybe Tom. And
for a second, Lucas Jensen was nearly caught out, but just about cleared it to the halfway line. But Morecambe have it back. City are defending here, and across will come Hamilton. He'll play it to his keeper, and Jensen steadies himself and then clears long to the halfway line, looking for Smith to win it. Goes over the head, but Smith will chase after this. He's up against the defender. He sprints towards it. He's done really well. Good strong play from him. In towards Adelican. Adelican to Mandroyo. Mandroyo looking for Hamilton. Great run from Hamilton. Attempted shot is wide, but really good fluid football from the Imps.
Yeah, we're too big and too strong for Morecambe at the moment. Morecambe are really struggling to deal with our shape and also our physicality. And Hamilton's a little bit unlucky there. Alistair Smith did really well over that far side again.
The defender was all over the place, wasn't he?
Yeah, he just shrugged him off and then set up Adelican, and then to Mandroyo again, and Hamilton arriving late. Third man run, as we call it. Just couldn't quite control the shot when he controlled it on his chest, but good play from us. Our rotation's really good.
Adelican. It's a firm touch from Sorensen. Somebody does well to hold on to it, gets it to Aomer, plays it for a terrific run from Smith down the right-hand side, taking the defender outside of the penalty area. Back to Sorensen, first time ball inside the area, it's cleared away. Morecambe trying to pick it up, but it's not the best of balls. They are going to get away with it. City pressing, and Morecambe have it on the right-hand side, moving forward. Lincoln trying to close down, the space ball goes out of play. It's going to be, a throw for Morecambe. They take it quickly, it hits the back of the attacking player, and Lincoln, Connor thought he was fouled, the referee didn't, and of course he comes away with the throw. Apordi also then reprimands the officials and said it was my ball, it should have been my ball anyway.
Yeah, so far I like tactically what Tom Shaw's done here. He's
brave.
Yeah, it is brave, and he's just put an extra midfield player in terms of Jack Burrows, who'll just come, and when we get good possession, he just drifts into them midfield areas.
Oh.
And it just gives us that extra man in there. Really, really clever.
I should say Porty trying to clear it, just sort of spoon the ball up, but it's broken nicely for Hamilton. He's sprinting over the halfway line. Lincoln look physical, they look strong at the moment. Just overrun by Hamilton. He had Adelican to his right, he also had Sorensen, but Lincoln have won it back quickly, and they look a physically stronger team at the moment than Morecambe, Lincoln, and they look like they've got a bit more pace than Morecambe to me. Yeah, they've got better energy today. Like I say, their energy levels weren't great against Oxford, I didn't think, on Tuesday, but we've certainly got a lot of energy today, and the physicality is too much for Morecambe at the minute. Well, we know Lincoln ran through Charlton, 10 days ago, and it looks like they're trying to do the same to Morecambe. Mandroyo holds on to it, and he goes to the ambitious, looking for Sorensen. The defender deals it, nearly breaks back on the edge of the area for the Imp. City trying to win it back with Aomer. He's going to have to be careful. That will be a free kick and possibly a yellow card. Yep, the referee will give Aomer a yellow card. Not a lot of sympathy from the official, really, going very quickly to the yellow. Yeah, straight away gave it, yeah. Unfortunately, TJ can't get away with them anymore. When we get a break, most people understand what you mean by rotation, but I'm conscious it's a phrase that some might not have heard. We've got a break. Yeah, once we've got a quick free kick, it's basically when
like how Lincoln are set up now is a 4-4-2. But what I like about what they're doing is the two Ethans will move around in the midfield areas. Jack Burrows comes into that midfield area and Alistair Smith will push on. So they're almost moving positions within the midfield area. So they're not just static in their own...
They're switching positions.
They're just, basically switching positions, trying to move Morecambe around, trying to get one of them isolated in a little bit of Smith. And Alistair Smith is having a stormer at the moment.
He is. It's probably his best performance in a Lincoln shirt that I've seen.
Oh, he's just physically too much for him at the moment, Alistair Smith. As most of the Lincoln City players are as well.
And if you remember, that's what Tom Shaw said in the interview. It was, or maybe he said to me off interview, I can't remember now. I think maybe it was off interviews. He said he wants to get Smith further downfield. Yeah,
and he is. But Burrows coming into their midfield areas allows Smith to go and play higher up against Adelakun, with Adelakun. So that, we're occupying the back four of Morecambe more. And that means we've got possession higher up the pitch as well.
Ball forward from Lincoln, it appeared catch. Mandroyu's gone straight out, and it's going to be a throw for Morecambe. Just say Brentford 1, West Ham 0. Morpay with the goal there. Everton still leading by a goal to 0. I'll have a quick spin through the FA Cup tie, see if I can. There's so many games I can't do all of them, but see if there's any upsets on the card. Whitby Town away at Bristol Rovers have equalised. It's 1-1. At the recreation ground. Sorensen's got past one, he's pulled back, it's a free kick, and that'll be a yellow card as well, I'm pretty sure, for the challenge there.
Yeah, that is a professional foul. Thankfully, they were, well, not thankfully, but Morecambe had defenders back, but that was a very professional foul from the number 3 to Kunda. He knew exactly what he was doing there. Lasse Sorensen, again, out-physicaled him, got the wrong side of it, and he had to bring him down, because the next touch for Lasse was going to be a shot. Again, we're just too physically strong for Morecambe at the minute. So just our running power, Michael, and our strength on the ball. We're just too good for them at the minute.
Lincoln City with a free kick, right on the edge of the D. It's perfect, you'd think, for Mandroyu. Hamilton also over it. The wall is pretty much in line with the penalty spot. The wall being organised. So will it be Mandroyu? I suspect it will be the Irishman. He's created a goal. Can he score a goal for Lincoln City to double their lead?
Just hit the
referee.
Target.
I think he's saying you can come a touch further forward to the wall. Just got the goalkeeper slightly reorganising things. So Hamilton with his thunderbolt, or a bit of mercurial magic from Mandroyu.
Mandroyu's the favourite for me in this position.
Right-footed, it's Mandroyu steps up, round the wall, pushed away by the keeper. It was a comfortable save by the goalkeeper, and it's going to be a throw for Adelakun.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Like I said, hit the target, and it was the keeper's side, so he should save it. But no, it's still a shot on target. A good strike from Mandroyu, but yeah, it was reasonably comfortable for Smith in the Morecambe goal.
So a long throw from Adelakun. In towards the penalty spot. It's flicked on by O'Connor. It goes behind everyone. And he really wins his fair share of headers. And I know it's what they work on, trying to get it to O'Connor with those long throws. But it's a chance for Morecambe to escape and get over the halfway line and try and cause some problems for Lincoln City. Will they catch them out? Irahan and then tries to cut it out. That ball's going to go out of play for a goal kick for Lincoln City. And it's going to be a chance to clear their lines. And that's inevitably always the concern when you're downfield. You can sometimes be at your most disadvantaged.
Yeah, exactly, but Adam Jackson did really well to read the cutback. He didn't go back onto his own goal. He just knew that Bloxham would have to do something. There was nobody in or around Jackson, so he just held his ground and stepped in. Oh, Jackson nearly fumbled that to Jensen. He's going to have to be quick, Jensen.
And he's just about clearing away. He may just have been caught. Morecambe keeping in play on the right-hand side, and it's cut out by Burrows, showing real composure. He plays a ball to Iran, and Iran plays where he thought the player was. Lincoln are going to win it back though, and Hamilton, ball through to Adelakun, and Adelakun just can't quite control it, and it's won back by Morecambe. Remind you, the biggest shock at the moment is Swindon against Aldershot, and Aldershot are 3-0 up. They were 3-0 up inside 9 minutes in that game. They've been playing for 21. I imagine the locals at Swindon will not be too happy with that scoreline. Here though, Lincoln City fans will be very happy if you're listening on BBC Sounds around the country, or indeed on iFollow and also on BBC Radio Lincolnshire 94.9 and DAB. You'll be happy with the 1-0 lead. And hopefully the Imps can add to it. And it is City who have it. And they have it with Burrows back to Jackson. And Jackson to Irahan.
Yeah, see how much time we've got on the ball in those midfield areas now. Now Burrow's gone in there. We've just got a little bit more time. Jackson can now come forward.
Going to go for a right to left ball, and I think Mandroyu's onside, but the ball's over hit, and that's going to go out for a throw. Remember, we've got commentary Tuesday night. We're earlier on Tuesday night. It's a 7 o'clock kickoff. I think it's Jimmy with me. I can't remember. I think it's Jimmy Walker. I should have looked. I think it's Jimmy. Anyway, we've got commentary of that Tuesday night. It is 7 o'clock, so we should have a good chunk of the Boston game commentary as well here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Boston at the moment away at Spennymoor, our other online commentary game. Don't say that too often. And that remains goalless as Hamilton, a little bit of a cul-de-sac, gets it out to Mandroyu down by the corner flag inside the Morecambe half, and then into Irahan, and Irahan runs forward again to Hamilton, who's onside. Hamilton thinks about the cross but comes back to the corner of the area to Mandroyu, and now to Burrows. And Morecambe are chasing shadows a bit at the moment as the ball's out towards Sorensen, but they have won that back, but City get it back again, and Delicate just overplays, but Burrows picks it up in a very central position, and it's out towards the right to Sorensen and back to Aoma, and Aoma into Irahan. Neat triangles. Lincoln have worked that well, and they got a Delicate into the area. Delicate is going to come back and have a shot. He plays it into Hamilton. He just miscontrols it. City, though, should win it back, and Smith shoots over.
Oh, Hamilton, he just got onto it too quickly. Delicate does really well there. Great play. That extra body in midfield is really helping us because we can move the ball through the lines of Morecambe's midfield at ease. And Delicate does really well. He chops it back inside, tries to tee up Hamilton, and Hamilton's just arriving too quickly. Can't sort his feet out. And it's a missed opportunity. And then Alistair Smith's technique let him down.
In the Premier League, a player that caught the eye when we did the West Ham game, Kudus, has scored for West Ham. It's now 1-1 at Brentford. Mopé scoring first there. All the games on Match of the Day tonight. Smith does really well to poke the ball downfield at the defender. He went for the outrageous Tutonda, an overhead clearance. It worked because it's got Morecambe on the halfway line. Now they're looking to get the ball out towards the right-hand side. Bloxham should control this. You're going to try and pressurise Burrows. Ball is not a good one, though. It goes behind for a goal kick. It looks like, I don't know, about 150 Morecambe fans have made the trip, and they're being sheltered from the rain. And the other thing we can see when we look at the Stacey West, if you haven't been to the ground, you won't have seen, as you can see, the scaffolding from the development work going on behind the stand. Very exciting to see the development going on here, just inch by inch. Lincoln City getting a better and better club, isn't it?
It is.
Which is the right way, isn't it? You don't do the ridiculous, do it gradually and systematically and controlled. Yeah.
What I like about Jensen there as well, there was no way we could play out. Morecambe have obviously just had a little chat about tactically how they're going to set up against us when Jensen has the ball for a goal kick, and Jensen didn't take any chances. He just put his foot through it and thought, well, I'm not going to risk anything here.
I mentioned that Whitby had equalised against Bristol Rovers. From the Rovers' point of view, normality restored. They're now 3-1 up against the non-league club. Here, though, it's 1-0 to Lincoln City. Sorensen, the Dane, with the goal. The Dane with the goal, and it's Burrows, and now it's Irahan. And Irahan forward to Smith, who shields it well. And I think he has picked up a throw, he has, for Lincoln.
Yeah, blocks him there again. Just kind of looked at Burrows and thought, oh, I don't want to go in there. So Burrows just drifted into that midfield area. Nobody picked him up, and he was able then just to get the ball off Paulie O'Connor and go and play. So a little bit of a masterclass from Tom Shaw at the moment, tactically.
Sorensen plays the ball down the line. Delican will chase after it. Morecambe have it halfway inside their own half, chipping it long downfield. Jackson heads it away. And once again, with Morecambe and Senior chasing after it. And Sorensen showing how fluid the system is. He's playing on the right, but he chased all the way across to the left. Guess the only trouble, you have to be careful you don't end up with all the players on one side of the pitch.
Yeah, you just got to be careful. Players have just got to be intelligent enough to know when somebody's out of position and go and fill that position.
Which is what Smith's done, hasn't he?
Alistair Smith just kind of recognised that Lass was following him all the way across and just thought, well, I'll just play in this little hole now.
Absolutely. It's great, but it relies on the intelligence of the players, which they're certainly showing. Terrific run from Hamilton over the halfway line. Still going to Mandroy, just slightly behind the Irishman. Just cuts his run and plays it back into midfield to Adelican.
Hamilton, when he gets going, isn't he? He's
a player.
He's absolutely just striding away from the Morecambe recovering defenders there.
City just exchanging passes halfway inside the Morecambe half. Irahan out towards Burrows. And then to the feet of O'Connor and Mandroy back to Jackson. Lincoln in no rush. They have this 1-0 lead thanks to Sorensen's goal.
And there's Burrows again. Look how much space he's got now. He can pick passes.
That's a lovely pass to Runner Smith from the pass from Delican. He looks for Hamilton for the finish. It bobbles up. He has another go and it goes wide.
Well, we should be 3-0 up here.
Brilliant in midfield though, Mark.
Brilliant play. Again, Jack Burrows. I'll go back to it. Tom Shaw, this is a little bit of a tactical masterclass from him. He's just got Jack Burrows in a little hole, and as soon as Jack can get half a turn on, he's got players that he can give it to in front of him. And it's a great ball, first time ball into Smith, and Smith just tries to chop it back for, was it a Delican? I can't remember which one it was. It was a Delican down the sides of Morecambe. And Ethan Hamilton could have had a hat-trick. Let's put it bluntly. If he could sort his feet out, Ethan Hamilton, he would have been on the score sheet at least twice here.
And I guess that's the only frustration, the only concern, isn't it? That when you have, when you're on top as Lincoln are, you want to take your chances.
Yeah, Morecambe are really struggling with our shape at the moment. As we did against Oxford on Tuesday, Morecambe are having the same problem with us today. They can't get to grips with our midfield, and Jack Burrows just arriving late in midfield areas means that Morecambe can't get set. And again, like it was against Oxford, we always seem like we're one pass away from trying to shut people down. They're always a step ahead of us on Tuesday night, and we're one step ahead of Morecambe tonight, this afternoon.
In the Premier League, in the 3 o'clock kickoffs, West Ham have come from a goal down in the London derby at Brentford to lead 2-1. Kudus and now Bowen amongst the goal scorers. A little bit of a conversation on the bench for Lincoln City.
There's more conversations going on the Morecambe bench, because they'll be like, well, they're just going with Lincoln, are just cutting through us.
I guess the only thing they'll take is that they're not further behind.
Yeah.
And that's always the danger, isn't it? If you have the excellent half that Lincoln have had so far after 31 minutes, you're still only 1-0 up. You need to take a second chance, don't you?
Yeah.
I know I'm being picky, but it's Irahan. He comes across, he loses possession. He ran into a bit of trouble. That's a good challenge coming in from Burrows. That's a poor ball from Morecambe. Otherwise, Lincoln would really be in trouble. They were looking to unleash Bloxham on the right-hand side, but the ball was just under hit. They suddenly found themselves with 3 against 3. And Lincoln was slightly caught out. Now they have it back with Smith, and he controls it, and he's got a Morecambe player down. I don't know if he's trotted his foot or something, but he's rolling around on the turf. When he backed into him, we got a break in play. Yeah,
that's the only downside when Burrows gets caught in midfield and we give the ball away. I will call it transition, but it's the breakaway. So when Burrows gets caught in midfield, we give the ball away in midfield areas. That gives Bloxham a little bit more room in that left-back role which Burrows has vacated, and so Paulie O'Connor's going to have to come across. Thankfully, that last phase of play for Morecambe, the ball was under hit, and it gave Paulie a chance to come across. But that's the only concern I've got, is when Burrows gets caught in midfield and we give the ball away. But that vacates that left-back spot, and we've seen that Bloxham wants to get forward, he wants to get crosses in, so we've got to be careful.
Morecambe's ball forward has been no hit. Should have said it was a challenge. The Morecambe player down with injury was caught by Alistair Smith. The first one he backed into, the second one he stretched for the challenge and just caught the Morecambe player. He didn't receive any treatment, so he's still on the pitch. And that free kick from just on the halfway line comes to absolutely nothing. It's a long ball downfield for City, and they're going to look to try and win it with Smith, and they do. And Sorensen plays the ball into the chest of Adelic, and tries to chest it down for Irahan, and then Burrows tries to win it, but Morecambe have it. They're coming forward, City getting players back, but it's with Bloxham on the right hand side. Seems one of the better ways that they've got down the pitch on this right, but they've not really forced a serious save out of Lucas Jensen. Morecambe just in front of the penalty area, the Lincoln penalty, Stacey West end of the ground. Looks like the rain has pretty much stopped. If anything, if it is there, it's very light. As Mandroy wins the ball back, Hamilton plays it into the chest of Adelican, and Irahan, a scooped ball downfield, looking for Sorensen to chase after. He's going to pressurise the defender, And the defender's touch is a terrible one off Tutonda. He's had a difficult couple of minutes, and Lincoln take the throw quickly. I think Morecambe thought Lincoln would wait for Adelica, but they took the throw quickly, and it's with Burrows in central midfield to the halfway line, and the captain O'Connor, and now Mandroiu into the feet of Burrows and O'Connor, and now with Irahan on the halfway line. Plenty of touches. I would imagine Lincoln are dominating the possession. I haven't looked just yet, will in a second, but Lincoln are looking comfortable in their lead, but I'm sure as the rain starts sweeping in again, Tom Shaw would like that second goal before half-time to cement their position in this game. Irahan just inside the City half, plays it through to Adelican firm ball back to Aoma, but Aoma controls it to Adelican to Aoma. Lincoln going backwards at the moment, then Aoma looks for the ball across the field. It's not hit too well, and Morecambe with an awkward header get it back to their goalkeeper, and it remains 1-0 thanks to Sorensen's finish here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. We're also on BBC Sounds, and the possession, just for the record, I had a quick look while we were talking there, Mark. 55% for Lincoln City. It's not too often we say that. A lovely little back heel from Adelican. Didn't quite work to Smith, who had to then foul Tutonda, who's already on a yellow card. And it's going to be a free kick.
Alistair Smith is absolutely bossing that midfield higher up the pitch.
Well, he's everywhere, isn't he?
He's just involved in everything that we're doing. He's done an excellent first 35 minutes here, Michael. Really, really good. Honestly, I just think Tom Shaw has played a little bit of a masterstroke, just putting that extra man in midfield, just giving us that overload in their midfield areas. That means we can get the two Ethans on the ball. Hamilton higher up the pitch, Ethan Irahan, we know he can pass the ball, we know he can thread passes through. Alistair Smith higher up the pitch, which means he's closer to Adelican, so those two can combine. And then you've got late arrivals like Lasse Sorensen coming in, who's a willing runner in behind, and that's how he's got his goals. So at the moment, we're well deserving of a 1-0 lead. I think we should be 3 or 4-0 up here. Yeah,
like I said, that's the only thing that ticks in the back of my head, Mark.
Yep, absolutely.
Ball into the Imps penalty area. Stacey West end of the ground, headed away. Morecambe will pick it up. City press them. There's a poor touch from Tutonda. He's not having the best of afternoons at the moment.
He looks really nervous at left back. I think Lass has really
unnerved him, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's a great word. Unnerved him, and he looks really uncomfortable.
BBC Radio Lincolnshire. We're on BBC Sounds and on DAB FM and on your smart speaker this afternoon. And before anyone messages me, we can't do online all the time, but we can for the FA Cup to clear that up.
I have to say, Jack Burrows has done really well in central midfield areas as well.
It suits him, actually.
Yeah, he looks very comfortable. I know he's not got a lot of pressure on and around him, but he looks like he wants to play forward all the time.
Be interesting to see if this is horses for courses or a longer-term thing. Yeah, certainly a question I'll ask at full time.
Yeah.
Irahan, good ball into Adelican. This is still inside the City half.
There's Burrows.
Burrows is right midfield.
That's what I mean.
That's
that's what I mean about that when I called it a rotation. You know, the changes of positions we were talking about.
Yeah.
So now he'll just funnel back across now to come and play left back.
But what it relies on, though, doesn't it, is it's all of the team have to be awake.
Yeah, like Hawley's now at left back. Look, Hawley's had to come in to play left back against Bloxham.
But like when we saw Sorensen and Smith, didn't we? See Sorensen effectively coming in alongside Adelican because he'd gone so far forward, and Smith realised and went back to right midfield.
Yeah, exactly. It's just being aware of who's doing what and where on the pitch, and just making sure that you cover gaps. You're the nearest player, you go and fill that gap. And so far for Lincoln, apart from that one little half chance that where Burrows got caught, we got caught in midfield and Burrows was in midfield, that opened that left back spot up. That's the only time we've really been half caught out.
Oh, and Lincoln have to be careful here. They were taking too long. They just about got that away. I think that was about a second from it being taken away and probably plonked in the back of the net. Lincoln really were being calm, yes, but almost too calm, too casual, perhaps is a better word.
Yeah, you just got to be careful. You know, we want to play. Tom Shaw wants to play. You can see that.
And Mandroiu wins the ball back for City just inside his own half, and he plays it for Sorensen. He's got space. Lincoln have got three against two here. Sorensen going forward, cuts to the edge of the area, still going. Sorensen shoots, bounces up. Hamilton tries to get hold of it, can't do so. It's cleared away, and that But kind of underlines that's why you couldn't give it a 10 this afternoon for the first half, because they've had chances they probably should have taken a bit more.
Delican's made the poor run there. He didn't help Lass out at all. 3 against 2. You've got to run away from Lass and then make your run late on. He just went into the gap that Lass was trying to get into, which cut the space down, and Lass had no option but to take the shot on, and really we should be feeding that into one of the runners we had.
Ball is over the top and he's going to go behind for a goal. I should say at one stage there, Burrows, he's going to be tired after this one. He was virtually right wing and he's playing as a left back at one stage there. It's Man City in the Premier League, Mark. They're 3-0 up against Bournemouth. The goals are by?
Oh, it'll be Ireland.
No, he's got none of them.
No, you see, you've done me luck.
I have.
You've done me there, haven't you?
Doku, Bernardo Silva and a Kanji with the goals at the start.
That's nonsense, Michael. You've done me like a keeper there.
Headed away by Sorensen. Smith chests it down. And Van Drooy lifts it forward for the run of the impressive Hamilton, but he wasn't playing the ball there, was he?
No, you
just ran across him.
You'll get away with that,
I mean, he was no attempt to play the ball. And then, Smith just boots the ball at the player who did it, and it ballooned off him. And it's going to be a throw for Lincolnshire. I imagine it might well be Delican who's going to take this throw.
Have we not got no towels ready for the ball
boys
and ball girls?
They're not allowed them.
Not allowed them anymore. We can sneak them in, come on.
If you remember one of the, I can't remember which team we played.
I'd take a booking off the referee.
Well, you could be in the crowd as a fan, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Throw me the ball.
Yeah, bring a towel with you. Come on, the fans.
A delicate long throw into the penalty. He's done well with it. It's not cleared away, and it's an attempted shot from Hamilton. It bounces wide, and it remains 1-0 to the Imps.
You know, I said about Lass against Charlton, he was going to score. Surely Hamilton's going to score in this game.
He's got to, hasn't he? He gets in all the right places.
He's had 3 really. That's half a chance, that is. He's missed there because it's popped on him for him, and we know he's got a wand of a left foot. I mean, he's really scuffed that a little bit.
They've really got their energy levels back today.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, they look full of energy. I
think Exeter and Tuesday, they just look tired.
Yeah, Tuesday second half against Exeter on last Saturday and Tuesday we did look a little bit leggy, but we look much better today. Much better.
So it's a corner for Morecambe. Stace west end of the ground. Slate grey skies around us. Rain not falling too heavily if there is much of it. Yeah, it is still falling, but not much. And it is a Morecambe corner. 1-0. Lincoln have had all the play, but will Morecambe find an equaliser? It's to the back post. It goes over the heads of everyone and behind.
That's
another
great
corner.
Defending. Who's that? Is that Burrows? That's great defending from him. He was being absolutely trying to be bullied by Bloxham at the far post, and that was a Morecambe well-worked corner. And Jack Burrows stayed strong. Yeah, made it really difficult and got the header in himself as well. So great defending from Jack Burrows.
Yeah, just stood still basically. Ball in the box, and it's in! Fulham and Morecambe have equalised here. Oh dear me, where has that come from?
I think it's that danger man Mellon again. I think it's him. A free header, and then the second phase, Mellon's just touched it in out of absolutely nowhere. We've been so dominant, we should be 3 or 4-0 up, and now it's game on again. I think it's a free header, and I think Mellon's got a little touch on that. That'll be his 11th goal of the season. They've not been in our penalty area, and all of a sudden they're back level. Well, that wasn't in the script for the first half, definitely. I think it's JJ McKernan who's got the initial header, and I think it's Mellon who's just touched it near to Jensen. Yeah, Alan Long just said it's Michael Mellon. And he's not had a touch of the ball.
We've kind of said literally this all the way through the game, though, haven't we?
Yeah.
Is they've dominated the game in so many ways, but that's football.
Yeah. And we've been very, very good this half, and let's just see how we react now.
Well, Morecambe coming forward. Lincoln have won the ball back, though. And there'll be inquests going on about that, as the ball's played long downfield.
And dare I say,
behind.
It's another goal from a set piece.
Yeah.
What is it with us and set pieces this season so far? It's difficult, isn't it? You've got to take a collective responsibility when you're defending set pieces, and we just don't seem to be able to defend them very well. I mean, it's a free header. You know, the lad's 6-7 yards out, free header, and then Mellon's just able to toe poke it past Jensen. It's a poor goal.
Yeah. And it's that rule, isn't it? When you have your moments, you need to take your moments. No need to panic at this stage, of course. But Mellon equalising for Morecambe. And they've got another chance to break here. 3 minutes of stoppage time. Mandroya, though, wins it back, but only by fouling.
Yeah, he's a bit unlucky there, Danny Mandroya. He is a bit unlucky. I think it was a foul, but...
It'll be a minimum of 3 minutes at a time. 3 minutes.
Well, it's a funny old game, football, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can be absolutely dominant, and we have been in this first half. Should be 3-0 up, and there you go. There's the sucker punch. A free header from a corner, and then second phase. They're first to the first ball, first to the second ball, and we find ourselves at 1-1.
Mandroya running through the middle. It's a good challenge, and Morecambe.
Now Morecambe have got a little bit more energy now.
City have it back with Sorensen into a Delican back to Aoma, and now Irahan. Bit of frustration from the Lincoln fans.
They will be frustrated, Michael, because we've been so dominant in this first half.
Oh, that's great play from Irahan. Dances past one challenge into a Delican, but he boots the ball all the way behind. And you can just feel the atmosphere has changed inside the ground a little bit.
Goals do. Goals affect players, affect stadiums, the atmosphere of a game. It all changes, especially if you can see the goal like we've just done.
Lincoln with Jackson, and they get it forward over the halfway line, chipped for Sorensen. It rolls all the way through to the keeper, and well, that's football for you.
It certainly is. It certainly is, and you said it, didn't you? Literally 10 minutes building up to that goal for Morecambe. We need a second goal. We should be ahead by more.
Morecambe into the penalty area, just cut out by Lincoln. Morecambe pick it up. They shoot from range, and it's pushed away, but they'll pick up the second ball with Bloxham on the right-hand side. The ball played into the area, and it's Mandroya, and he looks to clear, but once again back with Morecambe, ball inside the penalty area, and Jensen holds on to it that time.
Yeah, it's Morecambe now with their tails up, isn't it? And the crowd have just gotten out on the Lincoln players' backs a little bit. The frustration's just coming out. Just got to keep cool heads. If you're a Lincoln player, just keep your heads. You've done more than enough to win this game already. You've just got to keep your heads and just keep doing what you've been doing, which is easier said than done.
Jackson, inside his own half to Aoma, and Aoma to the halfway line to Sorensen. Sorensen cuts back. He's had a good first half, scored the goal. That is the half-time whistle. And I don't think the rapturous applause that may have been there 6 or 7 minutes ago was quite there again. It was a little bit muted from the fans. Real frustration. And yeah, Tom Shaw, a little bit like a disgusted schoolmaster, just pacing up and down, waiting for his players to come off the pitch. He'll be delighted with a lot of the play, but it really is about taking your chances, which is where they've missed out.
Yeah. You know, we should be sitting here saying that Lincoln are 3-0 up, they're coasting into the second round, but we haven't taken our chances. We've been dominant in that first half, and yet again we can see a poor goal from a set piece. We didn't deal with the first header. He's got a free header 8 yards out, and then we didn't deal with the second phase, and that danger man from Morecambe Mellon gets a little toe on it and toe pokes it past Jensen. So, and then the crowd, the whole atmosphere of the ground then changed. So yeah, a little bit of, there's no panic, You know, we've been dominant in that first half. We've opened up Morecambe. Morecambe have slightly adjusted to what we've done now, so we're just going to have to make sure that we keep the ball moving quickly. We can try and move the ball in midfield areas that we've been doing, and been doing it well at times, but we've got to take our chances. You know, Ethan Hamilton should have had a hat-trick in that first half for me. So all to play for in the second half, Michael.
Yeah, it's just, you could just see it coming in a way, couldn't you, when you watch football long enough?
Yes and no. You watch football enough to know that it's been so dominant in the first half that, you know, Morecambe will have an opportunity, and it's just about making sure that, you know, you limit them opportunities. But what's disappointing is we didn't win the first header, and then we didn't win the second part of that goal for Morecambe. So there's two touches within 6 yards of our goal that we've not been anywhere near, and that's disappointing. And we keep conceding goals from set pieces. You know, we should be going in 1-0 up here at half time and thinking, yeah, if we go and play like that, we'll go and win 3 or 4. Now, all of a sudden, Morecambe in that last 5 minutes have got a little bit more energy, they're a little bit more determined, a little bit more focused, you know, and they caused us 1 or 2 problems in that last little period. So again, you know, Tom's got to sit his players down and make sure that, you know, we come out and do exactly what we had done in that first 40 minutes of that first half, because we were dominant. Physically, Morecambe couldn't deal with us, they couldn't deal with our shape. So yeah, we just got to come back out and have that same attitude that we had in that first 40 minutes.
Right, let's do some half times then. I think we can talk to Tom, who's been covering games with Trinity for us this afternoon.
Yes, it's 0-0 here at half-time between Gainsborough Trinity and Lancaster City. And truth be told, it's been a fairly bland first half. The players aren't really playing to the conditions, I must say. It's been quite wet here. The pitch is very damp, but it's been a lot of high balls over the top, and no one's trying to take a risk with a pass along the floor, trying to make the defenders think and putting the ball into the corridor of uncertainty. So there's been no real great chances. The best chance of the game came to Gainsborough. Bobby Johnson hit a low and powerful shot from 30 yards out, and the keeper just got down to his right to make a save on the 18-minute mark. They then had another chance later on. A low ball was played into Declan Howe, who had his shot saved down low to the left-hand side of the keeper. And Lancaster have also had some pretty decent chances. They had a shot early on that was just put over the bar from the edge of the area. But outside of those 3 chances, no team have really lacked scoring today. It's still 0-0 here, and hopefully a much better second half on its way.
Thank you very much. Tom, what about Grantham Town then this afternoon? Behind, I think, at the break, aren't they, Graham?
Trailing by 1-0, Michael, and for the second home Saturday on the trot, it's Chris Salt who is to blame. This time, giving away a penalty on the edge of the penalty area, diving in unnecessarily with just 3 minutes on the clock, and Connor Thompson made no mistake from the spot to give Ashington the lead. Neither side really, though, have taken this game by the scruff of the neck. Ashington have had the best chance of the game midway through the first half, where a threaded ball through to Wilson Nishaw resulted in him delivering a low cross that Connor Thompson should have put in the back of the net from 4 yards out, but somehow he managed to scoop it over the top of the crossbar. The Gingerbreads at the other end have looked dangerous from 2 things. One, the long throws from Sam Muggleton, which have been mostly comfortably dealt with by the Ashington defence, apart from a header from Greg Smith that flew 2 yards over the crossbar. And secondly, they've looked dangerous whenever Curtis Morrison has got the ball on the left-hand side. He delivered a low cross into the penalty area that flashed across the 6-yard box, just begging for a touch, but there was no one there to turn it into the back of the net. Grantham have also excluded him from half of the game for some reason, but they certainly look as though they've got enough about them to get back into this game, but that's partly because Ashington look to have so little themselves going forward. Half-time score, Grantham Town 0, Ashington 1.
Elsewhere, Spalding a 0 up away from home with a Taylor Carter Byrne own goal. Stamford a goalless. What about Boston United? Our other online commentary game, we have 2 today, Lincoln Online as well. Here's Dale's story.
Where at half-time it's Spennymoor 0, Boston United 0. A really good half from the Pilgrims against their bogey team, and a side that are doing really well in this division. They've restricted Spennymoor to just 2 chances, and they were only half at best. Mark Anderson firing wide from the edge of the penalty area. Glenn Taylor, the man who always scores against Boston, volleying over when he really should have done better. There's also been an unbelievable block from Michael Boswick to deny Taylor. It was a real proper old-fashioned charge down. You could hear it from the opposite side of the pitch. But that's it. Boston have looked a threat going forward without creating anything of note. Half-time here, it's Spennymoor 0, Boston 0.
Right, take you through the rest of the half-times. Here's Callum.
So work to do then for Lincoln City to secure progress into the next round of the FA Cup. Let's have a look at the Premier League, where West Ham United are still playing against Brentford, but they take a 2-1 lead towards half-time. Crystal Palace 1-0 up away at Burnley. Everton 1-0 up at home to Brighton and Hove Albion. Manchester City 3-0 up against Bournemouth, and as Michael said, no goals for Erling Haaland just yet. Sheffield United 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0 as well. Heading into the Championship, Birmingham City 1-0 up against Ipswich Town. Bristol City 0-0 against Sheffield Wednesday. They've had a man sent off, Barry Bannon seeing red. It's Huddersfield Town 0, Watford 0. It's Millwall 0, Southampton 0. Plymouth Argyle 2-1 up against Middlesbrough. Preston North End 2-1 up against Coventry City. It's 0-0 in Rotherham United versus Queen's Park Rangers, and Stoke City versus Cardiff City. It's 0-0 for Swansea City versus Sunderland as well, with Patino seeing red in that match, and West Bromwich Albion 1, Hull City 1. Into the FA Cup now. I'll take a deep breath because there's a lot of first round games as always. Northampton 1, Barrow 3. That is a full-time result there. AFC Wimbledon 2, Cheltenham Town 0. Alfreton Town 0, Worthing 0. Bolton Wanderers 1-0 up against Solihull Moors. Bradford City 0, Wycombe Wanderers 2. Bristol Rovers 4, Whitby Town 1. It's Cambridge United 1, Bracknell Town 0. Chesham 0, Maidstone United 1, Chester 0, York City 0, Curzon Ashton 0, Barnet 1. They've had a man sent off though, have Barnet. Doncaster 1, Accrington Stanley 0. It's Eastleigh 3, Boreham Wood 1, Exeter City Wigan Athletic is 0-0. Hereford take a goal behind against Gillingham. Leyton Orient 1, Carlisle United 0. As we've been hearing in our Lincoln City game here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire, it's 1-1. Lass Sorensen opening the scoring, but Lincoln City pegged back just before half-time. It's Marine 1, Harrogate Town 2, Newport County 1, Oldham Athletic 0, Notts County 1, Crawley 1, Oxford United 1, Maidenhead 0. Salford City take a 1-0 lead into the break against Peterborough United. In the Staffordshire derby, it's Port Vale 0, Burton Albion 0. Ramsgate 1, Woking 1 in a non-league fixture there, in a non-league battle in the FA Cup there. Reading 1, Milton Keynes Dons 1 as well. Scarborough Athletic take a 1-0 lead into half-time against Forest Green Rovers. Shrewsbury Town 1, Colchester United 1. Stevenage 1, Tranmere Rovers 1, Stockport County 2-1 up against Worksop Town. Sutton United are a goal behind at home to AFC Fylde. A potential shock on the cards there. And Swindon Town 0, get this, for an FA Cup shock. Aldershot Town 4. Of course, those 3 goals in 9 minutes, they've now made it 4-0 just before half-time. And Yeovil Town 2, Gateshead 0. We've got Bromley versus Blackpool and Mansfield Town versus Wrexham to come this evening.
BBC Sounds. It's 2003 in Birmingham.
Doors are being slammed in your face, you're not welcome here.
They were capable of murder.
Drive-by killings, gang wars, a vigilante group that fought against Jamaica's notorious Yardies.
The homeboys thought, we're not going to take this anymore, we're going to be even more violent than you.
Before turning on each other.
I'm Livy Haydock, and this is Gangster, the story of the Burger Bar Boys.
Listen first on BBC Sounds.
Of course, the FA Cup magic has already struck. We had Horsham take League One Barnsley to a replay in a 3-3 result yesterday. The head coach Dominic De Paolo was speaking to our colleagues at BBC Radio Sussex.
Yeah, I just thought they were incredible. To be fair, I mean, it's probably the greatest achievement in the club's history, I would have said, for those boys. They were absolutely magnificent, ran themselves into the ground. To take such a great side to a replay is mind-blowing, really. We've got an unbelievable spirit amongst our team this season. You can see it out there. The subs were brilliant. The boys who started, the disappointment for the ones that didn't get on, was such a great collective, unit, and today was, culmination of a lot of hard work. And this week it's been a real challenge for us getting up here. We've missed out on some training. We had to do some walkthroughs today during the day, and it's just an incredible performance. And I'm so pleased that we can bring the game back to ours. Main reason because we couldn't bring everyone up tonight. So for us to have that game in 2 weeks at our ground, where hopefully the vast majority of people that want to be there can be there, and all the kids and everything like that, it's going to be a great one for us.
And just at that point in the game where you thought the professional side were getting on top from a physical perspective, you go and score on the counter-attack.
Yeah, I mean that's the beauty. We've been saying it to the boys all day today, and I think sometimes they think you're saying it for effect, but it's the subs that came on and did that. Our little bit of extra legs that came on has gone and got us the result. So yeah, it's incredible. I thought obviously Barnsley had a lot of the ball and created some great chances, and Luke Carey in goal made some phenomenal saves. But I was just really pleased that we actually caused some problems the other way as well. I don't think we just came here to play deep and just make it hard and sort of go out of the game with a whimper. I thought we gave it a good go on, both sides of the ball. So over the moon, really. It's a credit to the management team, all the people behind the scenes at Horsham have put in a lot of work to get this sorted out for the last couple of days, and I'm just pleased for everyone from Horsham, and hopefully more people can get to the game at our place.
Time now for one of our BBC introducing acts. This is Drew Thomas from Grantham, who says his influences range from The Killers, Hosier, Sam Fender and Fleetwood Mac. To get featured, please upload your music to Dean Jackson via the link at bbc.co.uk/beat.
BBC introducing,
supporting new and emerging acts across the BBC.
Hello, my name is Drew Thomas, and I'm an independent artist born in Grantham. This is my song I Wish I'd Met You Earlier, which is all about meeting someone but it being the wrong place at the wrong time, and the weird curveballs that life can throw at you sometimes. This is my song I Wish I'd Met You Earlier on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Enjoy.
I've been on a back road, trying to find my way back to the centre, to when I remember. I've been losing feeling in both my feet, always trying to please someone, even when the feeling's wrong. I wish I'd met you earlier. I wish I knew you first. Sometimes life gets easier, and sometimes all it does is hurt.
Welcome back to the LNER change for Morecambe. And no surprise really to Tonda coming off, being replaced by Leddy. He had a bit of a torrid first half. Otherwise, run change will spin you through the two teams in a moment or two here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Lincoln will be kicking towards the Stacey West end of the ground. They're getting the second half underway with Alistair Smith, who's been one of the better performers for Lincoln this afternoon. But it's a 1-1 scoreline if you're just tuning into BBC Radio Lincolnshire or maybe logging on to BBC Sounds. Remarkable really, because Lincoln have dominated the first half in so many ways. But you know what they always say, if you don't take your chances, you might come and find it will bite you on the bum if you don't get your goals that you think you should. Lincoln are lining up as follows. It's Jensen in goal, Ioma, Jackson, O'Connor and Burrows the back four. Smith, Irahan, Hamilton with Sorensen, Adelakun and Mandroyu. It's kind of a 4-4-2, but it does change around a lot, and we see Burrows particularly moving around the team. The bench for Lincoln today, it's Wright, Brown, Mitchell, Duffy, McCarmer, Vale and Shadipo. And just before we talk about the game, can I just say it's the first game this season where I can feel the cold in the bones. It's a cold one this afternoon, as Morecambe get the ball downfield, and it should be the keepers and ears. So I'll take you through the Morecambe team. Smith in goal, and then the back four is Senior, Badu, Connolly, and then the substitute Love. Then you got King and Kieran with Bloxham, Mayer and Slew, and Mellon the goal scorer up top. The bench for Morecambe this afternoon is Pedley, Rawson, Songo, Davenport, Smith, Walker, Brown, and the ex-Imp Melbourne. Delican has it. He plays a neat ball to Smith, and Smith does well to get out to the left-hand side. Lincoln fire the ball in, the penalty, it's turned behind for a corner.
Yeah, good play from us again. Went through the lines of Morecambe's defence, just as we were doing in the first half. And a great ball from Danny Mandreo. But nobody within the 6-yard box. Hamilton trying to make the ground up. Sorensen too far away from it, but we get a corner from it.
Well, colleagues from Radio Lancashire, the first thing he did when he took his headphones off at half-time, he turned and faced me and he went, "Don't take your chances."
Exactly.
I couldn't disagree.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the story of the first half.
A delicate ball right to the edge of the penalty. It's going to be cleared away by Morecambe back towards the halfway line. Rahan, the furthest man back, tidying things up, does well, although maybe just slightly overhits the ball, but it's well dealt with. It's a terrific run down the left-hand side by Burrows, who's been, well, I think the phrase covering every blade of grass would cover him this afternoon, but he eventually loses possession and Morecambe have it back.
Yeah, Burrows just did really well initially, and then I think he just went one play. Oh, we win the ball back high up. Oh, it's given as a handball. I mean, it's just been whacked at him, referee. Literally from point blank range. Wow. Is that handball really? It's been absolutely smashed at Arahan from point blank range. I'm not sure.
I've just seen it. His hands are in what they call an unnatural position, but as you said, he was about a metre away, if that.
Yeah, Arahan's just having a quiet word, should we say, with the referee?
I think the only thing from the referee's point of view is it actually directed it towards a Lincoln player, so it changed that direction. I kind of get that bit.
Yeah, maybe I'm being a bit harsh. Or got me Lincoln City.
No,
Lincoln's on.
No, they look red and white to me. That's quite fine. You're allowed that on Radio Lincolnshire. 1-1 the scoreline in the FA Cup. And it's a corner for Morecambe at the South Park end of the ground. Plenty of movement inside the penalty. Ball is lifted towards the back post. Burrows heads it goalwards almost, and then it's not cleared by Lincoln yet. Now they've got a chance to break. Delican with a glorious touch from Mandroy. He's held from behind, but Mandroy still going, but he's only not got on the ball really because he was fouled. I understand the referee playing the advantage, but the brutal truth there was Mandroy would have taken the ball in his stride if he hadn't just been pulled back.
Yeah, I think that was fair. Mandroy just overran it slightly, and I think Morecambe's defender was able to get the wrong side. And Mandroy just used his strength to lean on Mandroy and just ease him off the ball there. So I don't think there was anything in that.
In the Premier League, it's Burnley 0, Crystal Palace 1. Schlupp with the goal there. Here 1-1, Boston United online 0-0. Lots of action for you here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire this afternoon, but not a huge number of goals and not as many as Lincoln would have wanted. They've got a throw and they're looking to take it quickly. I'd just be interested with this, the way Lincoln are trying to play, with seeing Bale maybe come on in the last half an hour mark. Might be that it would work better for him than it did on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I would say so. The way we're playing, I think it would really suit him, I have to be honest.
Morecambe have it on the edge of the Lincoln City penalty. Slew cuts inside, shoots well wide.
Yeah, that's not going to trouble anybody. Never looked like he was set up to strike that Slew.
Should say if there was a replay, and I can't imagine this would be picked up for television, as much as I would like it to be for Lincoln, it would be a week Tuesday. And it's not something Lincoln would want, to be brutally honest.
No, we've got enough Tuesday games coming up. We don't need
it's
another
the only
one.
Tuesday off in the space of 5-6 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. So we could do without having another Tuesday night fixture.
Oh, it's cold, Mark.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Mark. It's the first time I've gone, oh.
Yeah. I'm going to have to get one of those heated jackets that they're selling now. I think that might be the present. Anyway, Lincoln City are trying to get hold of it on the edge of the Morecambe penalty area. Rahan fighting for it, but Morecambe holding on to it. Rahan just on the right side of the law for the referee, but it's all the way back on the edge of the Morecambe penalty area. This white kit with black flashings, black shorts and white socks, and it's a fluorescent yellowy green for Smith in the Morecambe goal. And downfield watching all of this, almost a spectator at the moment, is Lucas Jensen. But Morecambe have worked this well, and they've got in behind Burrows, and maybe that's something they've been working on. Burrows chasing back, it's not a good ball in the box, and Sorensen should win it back. And he charges forward, plays it into Adelic, and it holds with Adelic, and he used his physique well. It's being worked hard by the defender, but he gets it to Aoma, and now Irahan, a little exchange of passes between the two, and now Adelic, little touch makes a bit of space, but he overhits the ball, and Irahan has to just slightly check his run, but now he has it and plays it over the halfway line, and that's a first time ball from Mandroya, looking for the forward run of Burrows, couldn't find him, and now Lincoln have to shuffle across. In fact, Burrows is almost at centre half at the moment, and Pordy at left back. Ball fired into the, or attempted fire into the Lincoln area, hits the backside of the Lincoln City captain and goes out of play. And I just wonder, with that ball over the top getting in behind Burrows, whether that's something that Morecambe have talked about at half time when Burrows gets forward.
Yeah, maybe that is. Ball
in the Lincoln penalty area, and for a second you thought Slew might get a shot away, and he hits the side netting.
He's actually hit the post, hits the outside of the post. Again, that's poor from us, really. TJ just watched the ball, and Slew had just pulled off his shoulder, and it's a first time right foot shot from him that's just hit the outside of the post. A little bit of a warning sign from us that we've got to get going in this second half. We're just to come out a little bit lackadaisical, I'm afraid.
Morecambe charging towards the next goal. There's Lakers a space, a chance to make it 2-1. They round the keeper and blocks and finishes it. And Morecambe have turned this game on its head. They have a 2-1 lead.
And just as we were saying about Burrows coming into central midfield area, there's the space. That's the space that happens when your left back comes into midfield. We turn the ball over. And blocks him all on his own. I have to say, he's taken it really, really well.
Great composure.
But we haven't come out in the second half at all. And that's what happens.
Well, I thought he looked a real threat in the first half, when the few moments that Morecambe had, but credit to Morecambe, they've come out second half and played better.
Yeah, they have. Now we've got it all to do now, that's for certain.
City 2-1 behind here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. It's definitely not in the script. There's a Delican, loses it, then wins it back briefly, but plays it straight to a Morecambe player in Mellon, and they're attacking, and they've got numbers forward. They're looking for another goal, which you wonder if a third goal will take it beyond Lincoln City. City with so many chances in the first half, but not taking them. Gate today 4,607, 192, making that long trip from Morecambe. Having said we wouldn't really want the replay, you bite your hand off now at the moment from a Lincoln City point of view. And it's credit to Morecambe for the position that they're in. They've had to weather a difficult period of play against Lincoln City, but they've taken their chances, basically, which Lincoln haven't. That's the tail of the game, really. Yeah. Lincoln haven't taken their chances, Morecambe have.
Yeah, we've come out really sloppy in the second half. A really poor start to this second half from us, and we've been punished. And we've got to wake ourselves up here, and very quickly.
Long throw into the City penalty, headed away by Jackson. Lincoln haven't cleared their lines properly. Hamilton plays it long downfield. Sorensen hooks it over the halfway line. Morecambe should tidy things up, and they do. And they've got composure to their game now. Arahan will run it back, and Sorensen fighting for it, falls over. It goes out of play. And I think maybe disbelief at the 1-1 has turned into a bit of anger amongst some of the fans.
Well, it's understandable. Given, the first 40 minutes of this game, we should have been 3-0 up and out of sight. And now we find ourselves behind. So you can understand frustration, field. Michael, definitely.
Absolutely.
I'm frustrated.
Morecambe get it out to the right-hand side. Bloxham score of the second goal. Plays it down the channel. Chip towards the edge of the Lincoln area. City, they're going to have to be careful with their challenges there, and it's tidied back to the keeper. And I think you have to say, though, particularly about the second goal, you've got to credit Bloxham, because I thought, like you said, he showed great composure. It wasn't that there's a foul by Sorensen, he'll get a yellow card for that. I would have thought, and I think he will.
Yeah, quite rightly.
And Lincoln bench have got a lot of thinking to do.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, they have. As much as I was praising the first 40 minutes of this game, we've not come out in this second half at all. And if we're not careful, we're going to find ourselves further behind in this game. I don't particularly like the body language. I don't like the intensity we've come out with.
The body language
really
is just gone, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's really lacking.
It's Grantham Town 1, Ashington 2. And Spalding, remember, 2-0 up. 0-0 in the Gainsborough Trinity game. No goals in the Boston game at the moment. It's their bogey team they're playing today, Spennymoor. 0-0 up in the northeast. Ball floated into the Lincoln penalty, headed away by an Imps defender. I think it was Jackson. Irahan has it on the edge of the D, but overplays. But Lincoln have got away with it a little bit. City, you kind of feel like they need somebody to grab hold of the game for them, really.
They do. They need a tackle. They need a little bit of somebody just going, right, come on, this isn't good enough. Let's do something about it.
Jackson clears long, back towards the halfway line again.
We're second to everything at the minute.
Iran closing down the space, puts it out for a throw.
Yeah, I don't like our body language. Ethan Hamilton clapping and trying to get people around him to get going. Somebody needs to get angry with somebody or something just to get ourselves going here.
It's a loopy throw. Sorensen will get to the ball first. Hamilton is seen off it, but he does well to get back and slide in and play the ball back to the keeper, Jensen, who's seen the ball go past him twice today, twice on Tuesday. Lincoln priding themselves on their resilience defensively and their form generally at home. So back-to-back defeats, not a thing you would expect too often here at the LNER, because it's with Smith and then Adelican, and Adelican back to Smith. And Smith just pokes the ball through to Hamilton. Hamilton controls it. He's looking for support, hasn't got a lot, so he plays it for Mandroy. Mandroy fires the ball in. Sorensen looking for the flick header, nearly connects with it. It goes behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, that's a definite little combination they've done, Danny Mandroy and Lass Sorensen. Sorensen running off the back of the substitute low. I think he's actually headed that, but he just can't get the right purchase on it. That was a bit better from us, Michael. Yeah, he has actually headed it. I think he actually should do a little bit better. Lass at the far post there, but that's better from us. We moved the ball a bit better there.
It's BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Hope and glory to myself, Michael Horton and Mark Hone. It's 2-1 to Morecambe. They've come from a goal to nil down here against Lincoln City. Basically goal either side at half-time. It's almost a classic, isn't it, in the FA Cup, coming away from home. And it would be an upset, not the biggest of all time, but it certainly would be an upset, a League 2 club against a League 1 club. A long way to go in this game, and City need to reassert themselves. They played some very good football, but just didn't take their chances, as it could be, and probably should have been. 3 for Morecambe, but for a great save from Jensen. It was a simple ball over the top. I think it was Bloxham looking for a second. It was forced behind for a corner.
Well, that's great play all round. Morecambe low with an absolutely fantastic diagonal ball to Bloxham, had just drifted off Burrows. First time side-foot volley, brilliantly executed, but that's a fantastic save from Jensen to get low down to his right and palm that away.
They've taken the corner short. The ball is loaded towards the back post, headed away by a Lincoln defender. And that was Paulie O'Connor. And the ball fired back into the penalty, headed away by Burrows, but on the edge of the area. Morecambe looking for a third shoot. It hits a Lincoln player, not quite cleared away, and then City player over the top. Smith, can he turn it into something? He does well, then he's brought down by the defender. And that's going to be at least a yellow card, and it will be.
Yeah.
It was pretty, how should we say, professional.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing.
Knew exactly what he was doing there. Let's just towed the ball first, and number 12 for Morecambe.
If you think that Lincoln are having a bad day at the moment, you know, I mentioned the Swindon score.
Go on.
Try and double it from what I told you last time. 6 to Aldershot at Swindon.
Oh my word.
Oh, a little jump over the ball from the referee. It's a Delican, a bit of space. And he fires it out to Sorensen on the right-hand side. Sorensen, ball in the box, it's across 6-yard box. It should have found a finish, but they couldn't get a player on the end of it. It bounces behind for a goal kick, and that was an excellent ball from Sorensen.
Yeah, it really was. That was good, better again from Lincoln, building up slowly through the lines. Good for 1-2 touches in and around the penalty area, gets it wide. Sorensen flashes the ball across the 6-yard box, and nobody there to tap it in. All of a sudden we've come a little bit more alive in this second half. We needed to.
Update on the Gainsborough game in a second. We've had some drama, a couple of bits of drama to tell you about, but Smith trying to win it, but Morecambe bring the ball away in midfield with McKiernan. They're not exactly flying downfield. They have the 2-1 lead. They really have asserted themselves well after going behind. And Lincoln dominating, having chances, but Morecambe have pretty much taken their chances, and they're 2-1 up here. And they're on the edge of the Lincoln box. And the ball is into Bloxham. Oh, that's off the line. Off the line. That could have been 3, and that's, well, Lincoln are living on the edge here at the moment. It's an excellent ball, though.
That's too easy. Slew's got on the outside of TJ, stood it up to the far post, and blocks him again. Side foot volley. Past Jensen, I think it's Adam Jackson that takes it off literally on the line to stop it going into the back of the net.
I'll ask you a difficult question in a second. As Ethan Iran, I think, led with his arm, that might be the decision, or was it an offside? We had a change of formation today, Mark. Do you think that plays into anything? We've had a couple of balls on the left-hand side bouncing across. Can that be, we don't know how much they practice this formation, but can that be a factor?
I think the second goal is definitely a factor in that.
And we saw that cross then as well.
Yeah. But Bloxham's had 2 chances over that far side now. Both where he's just drifted off Burrows on the diagonal, so Burrows has just got to adjust his position slightly and almost take a step towards Bloxham to stop that diagonal going over his head. And that's got nothing to do with Burrows going into midfield. That's just positional play from Burrows. He's just got to adjust his starting position.
Lincoln City trying to win the ball back. That's a penalty, surely, referee.
That is a penalty.
Giving it the other way.
That is a penalty. Somebody's absolutely...
Lincoln aren't appealing for anything, to be fair.
Somebody's just absolutely taken down Hamilton there. I can't wait to see this again on the replay. Defender does well initially. Oh.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. He was too far away from the ball, to be honest, Mark. He was brought down, but he was too far from the ball. We're going to see Jack Vale in a second or two. Be interesting to see who the change is. You'd imagine a Delican, but you know what will happen. As soon as he comes on, we'll have a long throw.
Yeah, it's bound to be.
Aoma heads downfield. But Lincoln City certainly a bit more hesitant now. Jackson, though, that's great from him, wins it and smuggles it forward to Hamilton. Well, Lincoln are now getting out muscled in midfield, which you don't say too often. Mandroya comes across trying to win it. Haven't seen a lot from him in the second half. In fact, we haven't seen much of Lincoln really attacking-wise, apart from that really good ball from Sorensen across the box. It's Irahan, and he smuggles the ball forward. Delican stretches for it, can't get hold of it, and he brings down the Morecambe player. Oh, and that was a firm challenge, but City are chasing away. And I'll tell you what, the challenges are getting a little bit wild from both sides.
Yeah, they are now. Morecambe are up for this now. They've obviously taken the lead. Now they've got something to hold on to.
Delican is onside and he plays it across for Hamilton. Hamilton charging forward, the challenge comes in, and that took none of the ball, and that's another yellow card.
Yeah. Oh, there's heads involved
and now
there as well.
Pushing going on. And I think this is, do you know what? Good. Be angry and have a fight. Not physically, but you know what I mean. Fight for yourself.
Do you know what? It might take something like this for us to get going. Maybe that's, something that...
Oh, you know what I said about Aldershot?
Yeah.
7.
Oh my word.
At Swindon. What are Aldershot now? National League South, aren't they, I think?
Aldershot, no, National League.
Are they National League?
I don't know. Good question. Do you know what? I'm not sure.
I've not looked lately.
No.
It's still a shocker, though, isn't it? Especially at the Football League club.
So, All right.
7th in the National League, so they're a form team. But even so, 7-0 is some scoreline. And that Hamilton getting a yellow card as well.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
So the change coming up for Lincoln City is Adelican coming off and being replaced by Jack Vale. Well, about an hour ago, if you tuned off from BBC Radio Lincolnshire, you thought, well, Lincoln, yeah, they should take more chances, but it's going along nicely. You tune back in and you're like, what has happened? And, well, they've lost control of the game.
Yeah, they have, yeah. They haven't come out with the right attitude in the second half, and they've been found out. Down that left-back channel, which is what we talked about in that first half. If we give the ball away in bad areas, that left-back channel comes free, and Broxton made the most of that to score Morecambe's second.
Mandroyu over this. Free kick, halfway inside the Stacey West half. Drifts it into the penalty area, headed across goal and out of play. 24 minutes to go. Remember, if Lincoln can fight back and get a draw here, the replay will be a week on Tuesday, and that would block off the final blank Tuesday that Lincoln have at the moment. And we shouldn't forget, if they get through against Notts County on Tuesday night, they have another Tuesday to come there as well. So they could, I think they could play Saturday, Tuesday for something like 5 or 6 weeks, Mark, which is a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot, especially when we have got a depleted squad.
Lincoln City chasing after the ball in the form of Sorensen. Looks like it's overhit. The defender's going to have to do something. Plays it to the keeper. He takes a touch and he gets away with that. Very calm. Vale was sliding in, and they do manage to bring it away. But I would have thought that Derek Adams' heart was in his mouth then.
Yeah, Adam Smith with a little bit of a Cruyff turn on his own goal line.
It's a different world now, isn't it? Can you imagine what John Beck would have said?
Well, he would have taken the goalkeeper off. If Barry Richardson or John Vaughan had done that, he would have substituted him straight away.
Lincoln have won it back. Good from them. And then a push over on Sorensen. And that is a really clumsy challenge. And it might even be another yellow card, you know. I don't think he's going to give it, but it feels a little bad-tempered. I don't think there's been a bad challenge, has there, between the two teams, but it feels like it's become bad-tempered.
It's just Morecambe have got something to look, something to hold on to now, and we're just getting much more frustrated because the game's not gone how we want it to go, which is why the tensions become between the players, because there's more on it now. Morecambe have got something to defend. We need to get the ascendancy back in our game. The more feisty it gets, the better for us, I think. The more it might focus us to try and get his equaliser.
So it's going to be Mandroyu's delivery into the penalty. It's a brilliant delivery. Surely that needed a finish. It's goal kick. That was a fantastic delivery, Mark.
No, that's perfect. You cannot...
He couldn't do more than...
You can't put the ball in a better area with that amount of bend and whip on. And I think there's 3 Lincoln players trying to go for it, and I think it's Jackson at the far post who just can't quite make the ground up. Oh, he heads it actually into the ground and into himself and then behind. So that's a couple of chances we've had now, even though Morecambe have taken the lead. We're still in it. Just got to find that equaliser somehow. And Vale's in behind here, and he'll get there.
Just slightly over the hill. The keeper has kicked the ball straight at his teammate. He's now on the floor. We're going to get a stoppage in the game. I'm not sure what the Morecambe players complaining about. The keeper came right outside his area and absolutely smashed the ball straight at his teammate, and he's now lying on the surface and feeling at the very best winded.
Yeah, no, that was a great ball over the top from Alistair Smith. He just said to Jack Vale on the defender, right, deal with that. And the goalkeeper's come out and taken charge of it, but he's absolutely clattered his centre half in doing so.
Grantham Town have equalised. Greg Smith scoring for them against Ashington, 2-2, still 0-0 in the Boston United game. I didn't mention this actually. Gainsborough Trinity, Dale Southwell has missed a penalty, but seconds later Declan Howe has scored for Gainsborough. They lead by a goal to 0. Elsewhere, Stamford now on a little bit of a dip at the moment, losing at home against Leamington by a goal to 0. Another change coming for Lincoln City, Dylan Duffy, who joined Lincoln about a year ago now. He had that injury, but the Irish season finishing about a year ago, and he had signed the pre-contract, though he didn't wasn't able to feature until later in the season. He would have joined, and obviously Lincoln have Jack Moylan coming that way soon as well. I'm pleased to say that the Morecambe player, James Connolly, who was a little bit winded by that, understandably, is back up and walking off the pitch as Dylan Duffy prepares to come on. It'll be interesting to see what the change is. Duffy more of a wide player, so I don't know whether Lincoln are going to tweak what they do. And the change for Lincoln City is going to be Ali Smith coming off and Dylan Duffy coming on. Smith very effective in the first half.
No, he's not been able to get back in it like he did in the first half. Certainly, he was a player of the first half, that's for sure. But
interesting to see if there's any change in how they can play. I don't think there will be. Mandroy, if anything, is the slightly switching on further forward, and Dylan Duffy's come across to the left-hand side in what looks more like a 4-4-2 at the moment. We know that it's sort of tweaked as it's gone along.
Yeah, so we've not seen Jack Burrows go into that midfield area as much, have we?
No.
This second half. It's because we've not been in control of the game as much.
Mandroy fires it forward for Sorensen. That's overhit. That's going to roll behind. Goal kick, and then they I'm not sure what's happened there, but the sprinklers have come on.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's about. As if we don't
it's not
need
like we have enough rain, is it?
I was going to say, we don't need to wet that corner of the pitch anymore, I don't think. Yeah, they've come in all four corners, so somebody's got the timing wrong on that.
And maybe the
and
clocks.
The photographers are getting absolutely soaked.
The clocks.
Ah, it could be the clocks, yeah.
So maybe they had them on timers.
Yeah, the photographers just got soaked as well.
I hope Chris and Andrew and Bubs are okay, not getting too wet. It's a bit embarrassing, really.
No, they go off.
Yeah, I wonder if it's the clocks, because it's what? It was last weekend, wasn't it? I've lost track. It was last weekend it changed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, so maybe they were set and they haven't been changed, the timer, from 5:30. Anyway, a momentary distraction from a difficult afternoon at the moment for Lincoln City. They looked so good for the first 35-40 minutes, but then they've struggled. And Vale's trying to change things for Lincoln, and Dylan Duffy. Oh, Hamilton went back to Duffy. You can feel the frustration growing amongst the Imps fans. And Vale chases after the keeper, who plays it a bit blind out towards his left. And Lincoln are forcing Morecambe back into a corner. And that's cleared downfield and headed out of play by Jackson. But just needs somebody to get a grip of this for Lincoln.
Yeah, it does. Like I say, we've not come out with the right attitude at the start of the second half, and now we're struggling to get on top of this second half.
Yeah, I'd say didn't take your chances in the first half, been poor in the second, would sum it up pretty much at the moment.
Yeah, we've just not had...
And also you've got to give credit to Morecambe as well, of course. I mean, from a Lincoln point of view.
I mean, Bloxham took his goal ever so well. It's a great finish.
Well, it could all... was drilled forward by Lucas Jones. I'm not sure he meant to do that daisy cutter, but Morecambe have it back. They're trying to get into the penalty, but City win it back. And it has Irahan, and Irahan coming forward, but he runs out of space and then he falls over, and Morecambe are charging through at the Lincoln goal, looking for their third goal, which you sense would kill it, but that's blocked out. And it's kind of a moment that summed up the game so far, really, for Lincoln, or certainly the last 20, 30, 40 minutes. As the ball goes out of play, there is a Morecambe player on the turf again. He's going to need treatment. I didn't see what happened to him. No, you can watch it back now as he is charging forward. We've got his breakage in play.
Yeah, I think it's Bloxham. I think he went for the shot, and as he landed when he's done the shot, I think
he ran into Sorensen, just looking at the replay, Mark.
And he's I don't know what he's done, but he's gone down in a bit of a heat. But again, Irahan just running out of ideas in that midfield area, didn't know where to pass to, and then he's got caught out. And
fair to say the rotation worked in the first half. We haven't seen much of it in the second.
No, it's not. Well, we haven't done it at all. We've not had possession. Lost our way completely in this second half.
Let's take you through the scorelines in the Premier League while we got this break in play. Hopefully not. It doesn't look like a serious injury for the Morecambe player. I think it's Mayer, possibly, or McKieran. It's Mayer, I think, has got the injury. So result from earlier on, Man United winning 1-0 at Fulham. Brentford 2, West Ham 2. Dramatic game this one. Brentford took the lead through Mopé, then Kudus and Bowen put West Ham ahead, but then an own goal by a West Ham player has made it 2-2. Palace leading 1-0 against Burnley. Everton 1-0 up against Brighton. Man City 4-0 up. And no, he hasn't scored yet. Phil Foden, I won't be cruel to you this time, Mark. It was Phil Foden who scored that one. Sheffield United, it's a bit of a shocker, this one. If you're a Wolves fan, Sheffield United leading by 1-0. Archer with the goal. Throw for Morecambe, and it's a poor one, straight out of play for a goal kick. We have 14 minutes to go. And Morecambe going to get home in this and be in the second round draw. Is Lincoln's FA Cup going to be a short affair like it was last season? I think it will feel like a result as bad in a way, whilst Morecambe are a much higher level. Lincoln City are at home, and they haven't made the most of it. Just over under the 5,000 here today, 4,607. Jackson a long ball down, headed on by Sorensen. Chasing after that one is Hamilton. Goes over. Mandroy fires it in the box, cleared away. And Dylan Duffy trying to get hold of it, can't do so. Chases after blocks and kicks the ball out of play.
Yeah, we need to get going now. We've got 14 minutes really to save this FA Cup tie. We need some urgency. Still got to be patient, but we need to play with intensity.
Jackson
at the same time
striding forward. Morecambe understandably just trying to keep a resilience, and that's a good ball actually from Jackson out to the left-hand side. Dylan Duffy, can he find the quality? Fires it into the penalty, cleared away by the substitute, and a play for a throw.
Yeah, good play from Dylan Duffy. Brilliant play from Adam Jackson. Just carried the ball 40 yards into Morecambe's half and fired.
Well, they're getting deep, aren't they now, Morecambe?
Well, yeah, they will do. They'll be getting nervous now. So they'll be sitting in more. We've just got to play quickly in and around the penalty area to open them up. Can't be too pedestrian in what we do. We have to be quicker on the ball.
Frustration for the Lincoln fans. They want the ball going forward at the moment. City are trying to pick their way forward, trying to work an opening, and they get it out towards the left-hand side.
There's plenty of time. There's plenty of time. There's no need to panic. But when we get the chance higher up the pitch, we have to move the ball quickly.
Ayoma. And it's Sorensen, and it's back out towards Mandroyu. Mandroyu playing it for the run of Sorensen. Sorensen holding onto it, wins doesn't win a corner.
Oh, that's a corner. That's a corner. And, linesman's got that completely wrong, and I'm surprised the referee didn't see that from his angle. But anyway, that's better from us. At least we moved the ball quickly.
In the Premier League, Brentford are now ahead against West Ham, coming from 2-1 down. Collins scoring there. And Bournemouth have pulled a consolation goal back against Man City. They're 4-1 down at the Etihad.
Haaland own goal.
No, that would be funny. City have it with Mandroyu. Let's go back to Ayoma. Ayoma to Cordy O'Connor. And he slides the ball out to feet, and Lincoln exchanging passes, but it breaks down for them again. And Morecambe have it, and they play it down the right channel. It's put out of play. And understandably, for both sets of players, the energy levels are dipping as we reach the final 10, just about a minute from that. It's BBC Radio Lincolnshire, Hope and Glory, Mark Home, myself, Michael Horton, your commentary team. Boston United still goalless away from home in their game. I think they'll take a point. It's a bit of a bogey side, Spennymoor, for the Pilgrims. Stanford losing by 2-0. Spalding 2-0 up, Gaines from 1-0 up, Grantham 2-2, and Lincoln have it in midfield. Oh, referee. He's given a free kick to Morecambe.
Yeah, a little shove from Jack Vale. I thought it was a free kick. A silly free kick to give away, really, from Jack Vale. Yeah, big 10 minutes coming up for me, Michael. You know, like I say, we've lost our way in this second half. We were brilliant first half. For the first 40 minutes of this game, we absolutely bossed it. And we've just lost our way in this second half.
Morecambe looking for a third inside the area, cleared away by Hamilton, but no Lincoln player are downfield, so it's retrieved by a white shirt. And the City fly forward. Morecambe looking to pick their way through, get out towards the left-hand side to Mayer. Long ball forward to the edge of the area, headed away, but then cleared away by Lincoln. Morecambe have it again. City trying to win the ball back. Mandroy does well that time. He's going to hold on to it too long. Gets it to Sorensen. Sorensen smuggles the ball and it reaches Hamilton inside the centre circle. Hamilton, the ball sticks for him, but he charges forward. Hamilton still going. Runs out of space, so pauses. Then has another go. He's trying to do it all himself. Charging forward. Hamilton shoots. Oh, that's just wide. What a run.
Brilliant from him. Absolutely brilliant from him. Had options. Last Sorensen made a really good run. He didn't pick him out and see him, but he just kept going. And he's not too far off putting that in the top corner. Brilliant run from Ethan Hamilton. We need more of that in this last 10 minutes so we can get ourselves back in this game.
Sutton Coldfield 1, Spalding 2. West Midlands club pulling a goal back. Here, it's the club from Lancashire who are ahead, 2-1. They were 1-0 down against the Imps. And they're looking to try and win a corner, but that's really good feet from the Lincoln defender. They nearly got themselves in trouble. They've suddenly found a bit of room to break into. Hamilton fires it forward to Vale. Vale stabs it wide to Dylan Duffy, who just about keeps it in play. Lincoln flying forward with numbers. Duffy has to pause. The ball kind of sticks on him, and he runs down the left-hand side and crosses it. It's cut out, though, and out for a throw.
Yeah, need to start building pressure up. Come on, intensity from the lads now. Get crosses into the box, move the ball quickly.
Just over the 8-minute mark here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. To go, I should say. Now that's an easily intercepted ball for Morecambe. And you sense the frustration of the fans growing and the frustration of the players. But I don't think you could say anything other than that Morecambe deserve their lead at the moment, in my opinion.
They do in the second half, certainly.
Yep. Lincoln played well in the first part until they conceded the goal. And they've struggled to really impact the game as much as I'm sure Tom Shaw would have liked. Still time to do that, though. Just under the 8 minutes to go, and it's O'Connor. And O'Connor plays it wide for Sorensen, who chests it down, comes inside. Sorensen goes the other way. He shoots low and it hits the defender behind for a corner. Yeah, great play from the Dane.
Brilliant from Sorensen again. Chests it inside, then goes back on the outside, gives himself half a yard, and I have to say that's a fantastic block from the centre half. Badua, who's come across and got that block in, but great play from Lasse Sorensen.
Lincoln City fans encouraging the home team to try and find an equaliser here. Corner, Stacey West end of the ground, attacking right, left-footed delivery into the penalty, back post headed goalwards, hits the post! Jackson hits the post, goes back in the box again, headed wide from Ayoba.
Oh, Adam Jackson does really well there, just pins his man, heads it goalwards, it hits the inside of the post and comes back out. And TJ Omer with a follow-up chance from the cross in the second phase, he's just heads it wide. But this is the last throw of the dice now. Oh, that was a good chance from Adam Jackson.
Omer's last touch of the ball was that header wide, comes off. Jove Makama's been brought on. Lincoln trying to find that goal to take it at least to a replay. 6 and a bit minutes to go.
Yeah, Lass is going backwards a little bit. He's been surprised a little bit by that. He's been a real threat, hasn't he, Lass, down this right-hand side. He looks like the only chance we might score in this second half is down from Lasse Sorensen, and now he's been pushed further back.
Oh, Burrows plays it back to Jensen in the Imps goal. Now with Jackson, who headed against the post. Jensen just on the edge of the 6-yard box to Burrows, and Burrows to Iran. They've worked this well. Iran charges forward and stabs it to Mandroyu. Mandroyu pauses, and he hasn't got many options but holds on to it, charges across the pitch. He sees Dylan Duffy, but still holding on to it. Mandroyu plays it to Irahan. City have advanced a long way forward, but they're still outside of the penalty area, well outside the penalty area. Irahan drives it forward to Hamilton, sticks a bit with him, but he does well to control it. And then Hamilton down the left-hand side. The cross coming into the penalty area, and it goes! Oh, just past the post. That was nearly the first touch and a goal for Jove Makama, but he heads wide.
Yeah, great ball in again from Dylan Duffy. Makama just throws his head at it, and it's almost found the top corner with his first touch. But that was better. Burrows coming into that pocket of space. We haven't seen it at all, have we, second half? It's the first time he's popped in a little bit of space, and then we've managed to get Ethan Arahan facing forwards and able to pick a good pass, and we worked the ball out to the left-hand side. Great delivery, like I say, from Dylan Duffy, and almost an equaliser.
It's going to be a throw for Morecambe. 4.5 minutes to go here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. And they're in no rush to take the throw. They will eventually, though, I'm sure. It's a short throw. Not too many Morecambe players committed downfield. Morecambe wins it for the Imps. But it's won back by Morecambe. Sliding challenges coming in from City, but the shot just over the top. Stunning effort from Mellon. Nearly got the third goal. It remains 2-1.
Wow. That's a great bit of play from Mellon. Fantastic feet. And as soon as he got half a yard, he just pulled the trigger, and that whistle past the top left-hand corner of Jensen's goal.
Well, earlier in the season, Lincoln City had the cup upset against Sheffield United in the Carabao. The trouble with upsets is sometimes you're on the other end of them. And at the moment, it won't be the biggest of upsets, I'm sure, this afternoon. But City are looking like they're going to lose to a League Two Morecambe. But there's a mistake, and Dylan Duffy charges. It's Hamilton charging forward. Ball in the box. Oh, Morecambe can't get there. It's out for a throw.
You've got to bust the gut, Morecambe, to get there. You can see as soon as the defender loses his footing, there's going to be a cross coming in the box. You've got to bust the gut to get to the end of that, Morecambe. You've got to be sprinting in there to make the ground up. And he just jogged in.
It's another throw for Lincoln. I imagine Lincoln fans have got the sinking feeling in their stomach about this one at the moment. But it's going to be a short run in the FA Cup this year. Can it change, though? Jackson, ball in the box, cleared away by a Morecambe defender. Back towards Paulie O'Connor. All of the outfield players are goal side of the centre circle, inside the Morecambe half. Mandroyu looking for Sorensen. Difficult ball, and he misses it completely. City, though, will win this back with O'Connor, and O'Connor plays it forward into the feet of Morecambe. It just doesn't stick for him, but he does well to get it to Sorensen. Then they win a throw. We've got 2 minutes to go. At the best, Lincoln City, you think, can get a replay week on Tuesday. But that looks a long way off at the moment. I can't remember the Morecambe keeper having to make a serious save. Ball forward down the left-hand side. Dylan Duffy fires it inside the area. Morecambe! Oh, wide! Is that the moment? It remains 2-1.
No, he's unlucky there. I was criticising him a minute ago, but this time he has got in front of his marker. He's tried to side-foot that into the bottom corner, and he's a foot wide.
Well, Bloxham, the goal scorer, coming off. Songo replacing him.
Again, it's Ethan Hamilton taking the game to Morecambe. He's been everywhere in this game.
Just been told, I think we kind of knew this, but in the cricket, I'm assuming England have lost to Australia and they are out of the Cricket World Cup. There's been a pretty abject performance in India from them, there's no doubt about that, but still reigning T20 world champions. City 2-1 down here in the FA Cup against Morecambe. A minute plus stoppage time to go. Is Bloxham's goal going to give Morecambe the place in the second round draw? Irahan gets it downfield. Dylan Duffy turns. He sprints away from his man. Does he? No, the defender does extremely well. That is really good defending from Senior to win the ball and clear it into the Lincoln half and win a throw.
Yeah, he's done really well there, Senior. Dylan Duffy was testing him for pace, and I thought Duffy was going to get the other side of him, but not quite. Oh, wow, okay, 7 minutes.
Well, we had a couple of treatments, but still a lot. 7 minutes. 7 minutes. I think those who are making for the way out will maybe just pause. Maybe not in the rain, though. It is falling here, and City will clear it. Morecambe in the position. They'll won't feel they're home and hosed, but they'll feel they're in a position to take this game on. We'll be getting Mark's man of the match. He won't be liking giving it to me, I know, but we'll do that at full time. You can always give it to the Morecambe goalkeeper and try and tempt fate, Mark. But you're not allowed to give it to Morecambe players there. Anyway, long ball downfield. Vale trying to win it. Doesn't. It breaks for Morecambe. Morecambe gets it to the feet of Mandroiu, and Mandroiu has it again. And he drifts the ball across to Burrows, who controls it. Burrows forward into feet to Dylan Duffy, who turns and is looking for a way forward. But he can't find it. He plays it to O'Connor. And now to Jackson on the edge of the centre circle. Jackson coming forward. Stabs it into the feet of Morecambe. He's held the ball up well, actually. Plays it out wide to Sorensen. Sorensen to the edge of the area to Mandroiu. Mandroiu into the, just over the head of Jackson. It must have been about 4 or 5 inches. Otherwise, it might have been an attempt on goal. It was a nice idea, just didn't finally execute it.
Yeah, it's good play from Danny Mandroiu. Just trying to clip it into an area. Jackson just drifted in on his own, but it went over the top of his head. But it's a good reverse ball from Danny Mandroiu, and he does have these flashes where it's excellent, but he does try and do difficult things at difficult times for me.
Tell you, Stanford have scored. They're still 2-1 behind. Connor Bartle with it, and Vale charging, and he's not going to get on the end of that. And the keeper just about keeps it inside the penalty by colliding with Vale, and we've still got 5 and a bit minutes to go here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Hope and Glory with myself, Michael Hortin, and Mark Hone. No goals in the Boston United game as things stand. Here, though, it is Lincoln City 1, Morecambe 2. Last Sorensen's goal and Lincoln's fantastic start to this game feel a long way away at the moment, as Morecambe scored either side of the half and have this 2-1 lead, and they're just wasting time, as you often see down by the corner flag. But it's going to be a throw for Lincoln City for Sorensen to take. And I think Tom Shaw's, not that he didn't know before, but he's had the highs and lows of football with that fantastic performance against Charlton, and also winning as well away against Fleetwood, but then defeat against Oxford, and what's looking like it might be defeat here. But can we find one more chance for Lincoln City that they'll take? And that's great chasing from Paudie O'Connor, in fact, and then it's with the pass from Vale wide to the left hand side. Dylan Duffy running forward. I think Hamilton is offside. The assistant's giving it. It's not going to matter. I think he was offside. I was watching the run, Mark. I think he was offside.
Yeah, he just went a little bit too early, and then Dylan just held on to the pass too long. The right idea. Just went a little bit too early, Ethan Hamilton, and the delayed pass meant he ran offside. And that kind of sums up City's performance the second half. Just not quite been good enough for me.
It's the ex-imp Max Melbourne about to come on, and he's going to replace Joel Senior.
We were brilliant in the first 40 minutes of this game. Should have been 3 or 4-0 up, but slowly but surely, as soon as Morecambe scored, Michael, I thought we just went into ourselves a little bit, and then we haven't come out right in the second half at all. The attitude's not been right. It's not been good enough, and we've been punished.
Sorensen's header is more backwards than forwards. A lot more backwards and forwards, but City have tidied things up. Are they going to find one more moment in the gloom and the rain here at the LNER? Well, they're not, when they can't get hold of the ball. And Morecambe have it in front of their penalty area. City trying to win it back, and they have won a throw. A bit surprised by that, but they got it on the left-hand side. Can they get it into the penalty area? Hamilton, and then Dylan Duffy, a looping ball in. Paudie O'Connor goes up for it, it's saved by the keeper. And that may just be that, and a few people around me have decided that is, and they're getting up and going.
Yeah, another good ball in from Dylan Duffy to the far
post. He's done
post.
Okay in the last two, hasn't he, coming on? He's done okay coming on.
Yeah, Dylan's done. I think he's a player there, I really do. I just don't understand why he's had not enough. I don't think he's had enough game time, I really don't. Just my opinion on Dylan. He's certainly got a great left foot.
Morecambe on the edge of the Lincoln penalty area. They're looking, it's going to be offside against Mellon. It's a good save from Jensen, but it doesn't matter because it was offside, and we have 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes for a replay, a week on Tuesday. Long ball downfield, Paulie goes up for it, heads it on, but there's nobody there, and it's rolled through to the keeper, who will happily take a bit of time to get the hold of it. And we have just under 2 minutes to go. A lot of Lincoln City fans have decided that it's time to brave the rain and head home on a gloomy afternoon here at the LNER.
It's been a gloomy second half, hasn't it, for us?
The weather's matched the mood, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Headed away by Jackson, and Hamilton hooks it downfield. Well, depending on how it goes on Tuesday night, we might be saying it's time to focus on the league, because there's only one cup competition. Obviously, it was a terrific run in the Carabao and that massive game against West Ham. But here, it's Morecambe who were looking for a third shot, driven in, beaten away by Jensen. And Morecambe happy to go out to the corner flag and sit on the ball. And that goes out of play for I think they've given a throw, haven't they? A corner, in fact, for Morecambe. And that must be that. A minute to go. The 192 have made the long trip from Lancashire, will be enjoying their journey home, because it's hard to see Lincoln City getting a goal in the next minute or so, because the ball is as far away from the goal as possible. It's right down by the corner flag. Understandably, they are wasting time, and you have to give credit to Morecambe. They've come here and got the result.
Yeah, absolutely. They were thoroughly outplayed for the first 40 minutes in this game.
Do you know, Mark, it's why football's such a great sport, because you can have that,
yeah,
and yet you can have different ways of playing, although I think they've played a lot more open football in the second half. But City, if they'd taken their chances, their name would probably be in the second round draw, but they haven't taken their chances this afternoon, and as a result, they look like they're going to crash out of this competition. Sorensen trying to get back to his fellow Dane, and as he clears, that is that. Lincoln City have crashed out of the FA Cup in the first round. An upset against League Two Morecambe. City started this game very well, some really good progressive football, but Morecambe, with goals either side of half-time, in my opinion, have deservedly taken the win.
Yeah, we were excellent for 40 minutes. Should have been 2, 3, 4-0 up. And Morecambe couldn't have argued with that, but as soon as they got the goal from the corner, another set piece conceded. We looked vulnerable. We looked like we went into our shells a little bit, and we didn't come out with the right attitude, the right spirit in the second half, and we've been punished. And we could never get going in that second half. We had a few little flurries. Dylan Duffy came on and had a couple of good crosses. Paulie O'Connor a save. Jovan Makama had a couple of chances. But really, you can't say Morecambe haven't deserved that in the second half. I thought they were better, and it wasn't for Jensen with a great save and an unbelievable save on the line from Jackson. That could have been worse. Yeah, we completely lost our way in the second half.
You were very praiseworthy of the rotation, the style of play in that first 30 or 40 minutes. People watching and listening to us, or those listening at home, would say, well, it disappeared after that, didn't it?
Well, I didn't see it in the second half. I didn't see it at all in the second half. And, you know, just as we were saying, you know, the winning goals come from that left-back spot where Jack Burrows should have been, and he's had all the time in the world, blocks him to go round Jensen and stick it into the back of the net. And like I say, it's a defeat that's I didn't see coming in that first 40 minutes. We were too physically strong. You know, we moved the ball well, we moved the ball quickly. Ethan Hamilton had 2 or 3 really good chances to add to Lasse Sorensen's goal, but it's acceptable to conceding a goal. We're certainly Lincoln are from set pieces. I don't know what's going on with us defending set pieces. We can't defend them. You know, we didn't win the first header from the set piece, and then we didn't win the second touch either. So there's 2 touches in our 6-yard box we've not dealt with and not competed for. So, like I say, I think that's quite the Oxford game on Tuesday. We were outplayed for a better team. You can't say Morecambe are a better team than us. I just think the second half we completely lost our way. Our attitude wasn't right in that second half, and we've been punished. And now we're out of the FA Cup.
Lots of thinking to do, lots of talking to do. We'll be doing that in the next hour or so here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Let's catch up with Dale. He's been commentating on Boston United this afternoon for us on BBC Sport on a separate stream there.